was a Razor. I mean, you want to talk about a night that had it all. It just about did at TD Garden. The night before the NHL goes on a 3-day Christmas hiatus, the Boston Bruins lose to the Montreal Canadiens 6-2, a game that had such promise, only to fizzle. And I mean, you want to talk about, it wasn't a lump of coal. I don't even think it was a bag of coal. What's bigger than a bag of coal this time of year?
Dump truck?
A dump truck, yeah. Welcome to morning. How's that for an open? Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor. Presented by our wonderful sponsors, Sunset Lake CBD, Fazenda Coffee, Copeland Automotive Group, and Sparks. We'll get to all them quickly. What a freaking buzzkill. It really was. I mean, you were rinkside, so you had different vibe, different energy, different look than we did. But a game that started with literal energy. I mean, palpable energy, fights and hits and Montreal, Boston, and wasn't bad for a while. Really, you could argue 2 periods, right? Just crashed. And now this Bruins team finds himself with just 1 win on that last homestand. And the outlook of this team is so vastly different in my eyes from a week ago when they came back from a road trip and won 2 of those 3 games. Do you agree, Razor, that it feels very different?
I do. I'll do the but in that that's what the season is with everybody. Everybody's won 4, everyone's lost 4. It's you're on the big time yo-yo. So that's the caveat. But yeah, that's, you felt like they had a chance with these 5 games at home to go on a run. I think a little bit of hindsight should have told me that these 5 games were a little more dangerous than I wanted to believe. 5 home games at Christmas, holidays, people, tickets. It was harder than what I wanted it, than what I thought it was going to be. So, but yeah, they're in the soup now. So now it's kind of the opposite of last season, where they came into the Christmas break and turned everything around, and then the wheels fell off after. Let's see if their resiliency comes through on the road when they get home.
They got to start on the road in Buffalo, a team that's just won 7 in a row. Buffalo probably doesn't want to have the Christmas break right now. They wish that they could probably go,
they want to
go
play
to
tomorrow night against Boston,
and say, yeah, let's
especially Boston.
Can we play the Bruins in 48 hours instead of 4 days?
Yeah.
So the Bruins have now, since last Sunday, the 14th in Mini, gave up 6, then just 1. I love how they rebounded, responded when they came back home for game 1 of the homestand. But then they gave up 3, 5, technically 4, because they lost in shootout to Vancouver, 6, and then 6. 17 goals the last 3. Again, one of them is shootout goals, so 16 goals. Big things that are coming into their games that are bothersome to me. The amount of freaking penalties that they are taking again.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 a game, mostly careless at times. Maybe that's not the right word. Unnecessary or correctable. What's the word? I mean,
no, I think you can use careless in like the NHL term. They're not careless in like they don't care and they're just like their sticks are flying everywhere. But like the Alex Steves high sticking, that's careless. Like you learn at high enough level, you don't swing your stick ever on the ice, especially on a National Hockey League ice. You just don't. Sticks in the feet, that like it's just those are technically careless and
they are careless. They are.
Yeah, so it's you use the right word, and it's too much. It's just unsurmountable and unacceptable, and all of those bad words. It really the crux of this is tonight, especially and Ottawa too, is power play. You just don't give up 6 goals a night if you don't take penalties. It's really hard to do that 5-on-5, but it's really easy to give 6 up when you're 5-on-3 for 6 minutes of the third period. That's crazy.
Right. I don't have it in front of me, and I should. I just don't. They have to lead the league in 5-on-3s, meaning the team that has they're leading the league in minors, so and penalty minutes. So, it would seem like,
Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't mean for sure that you're going to lead the league in 5-on-3, or I guess technically 3 versus 5, but unbelievable the amount of times that they've been down that many men.
Mm-hmm. And they'd been. I mean, the last time they played Montreal, it was the same thing, and they got away with it. But you're just not. It's unsustainable. And just like the penalties, we talked about it a month ago when they were getting away with it at different times, and we were saying, well, it's not sustainable. This isn't. You can't keep doing it. And they did, to their credit, get away from it for 14 to 18 days, but it's come back with a vengeance here this week.
So I want to believe that it's really correctable, but because this is not the first time this year that we've seen this, and this is not a 2-game stretch, they go for longer stretches. I'm starting to wonder if it is correctable with this team, in the sense of, do you have guys that are trying to do too much, that cliche, right? Or that are playing maybe up out of their slot, maybe where they should be a little bit Razor, and therefore, again, try to do too much, trying to make something else happen. The mind leads the body. Are they, when I mean tired, Pasta talked to post game.
Yeah, I think I would go there just to get ahead of you on the answer. I think David summed it up pretty well, what we're talking about, but go ahead.
Mental fatigue.
Yeah.
Okay. And I am gonna respect that, but they're not the only team going through this shit. They're just not. But they've got, so is it mental fatigue with that? Because you've got some guys that maybe are, again, on a line, perhaps maybe one line too high. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, there's added responsibility. And again, trying to do too much too often leads to kind of careless penalties.
It does. Yeah, but yeah, they're putting themselves in tough spots at different times. I think the last 2 games are fatigue, though. I really, I think that's reasonable. But again, you're leading the league, so you're halfway through and you're leading the league, so it has to, you have to be able to not do that in the NHL. So if you can't, then you can't play. That's where this team's going to end up getting at with the players that are out on the ice.
Yeah, I don't know what you end up doing. This game, the Montreal Canadiens had 7 power play opportunities. Scored 2 power play goals. One of them completely fortuitous, off of 2 of them actually off broken sticks, but one of them, the one power play goal, who was it, Dobson? He took the slap shot, the one-timer, stick broken. You couldn't have made a more perfect pass over to Caulfield. I mean, and Caulfield literally made 7 moves, Razor. 7 stick handling moves before he ends up putting it through the 5-hole on Jeremy Swayman with that. I think Sway thought he was going to eventually shoot. I don't know. And then he ends up just beating him there. But holy smokes. I mean, you couldn't have put a more, again, perfect pass over to him after Noah Dobson from the right side, shrinking the zone, middle of the right circles, breaks his stick, and the puck just goes perfectly to Cole Caulfield. Caulfield, I think like everybody else, Caulfield was shocked as shit that the puck was there perfectly. 100%.
Well, and then the irony of Zadorov stick breaking and ended up like that's you can puck luck, mental fatigue, the whole thing, but it doesn't make an excuse. But at the same time, that those things did happen.
Yeah.
It did, and you just can't spend that much time in your zone. You can't take penalties where David Pastrnak and Morgan Geekie aren't on the ice for 5 minutes in a 1-goal game in the third period. Like, all of these things just, it snowballs on you. And it's a momentum league. Zadorov said it the other night, and right now the momentum is not on the Bruins side, and I think that play is a pretty good encapsulation of it.
Game started with a bunch of, you had some lively fans and some raucous people there. and rightfully so. It's always one of the most enjoyable nights. You know what I mean, pregame in the season, where holiday cheer. You know that you're going to hear singing from Todd Angeli. You know that it's just going to be fun and people are in a party mood. And then you get a fight. What was it? 2 seconds in? 4 seconds in? If I remember correctly.
Officially 3, but
3 seconds.
It might have been 0. It was,
Tanner Jeannot and Josh Anderson. Anderson, just his second fight of the year, used to fight a bit more, hasn't. Kind of remember the last game, the game that these two teams played early in the year at the Montreal in Bell Center. I think they tried to get Anderson to go and he didn't. It was Jack-Eye and Struble but Anderson went. It was a good fight with Tanner Jeannot, Razor. Those are
heavyweights.
Those are two heavies. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're tough dudes, man. It's crazy. And then the next one too, these are the two toughest teams in the league. It's just incredible that it's Montreal and Boston that are the two toughest teams. It's old school.
And I kind of think, and I'm not going to say Ottawa is as tough, but you know what? Ottawa, is the previous game before this one. What a brutal game that was. Ottawa's no question has the B's number. Ottawa has more toughness too than I realized. Would you agree? Would you agree about that?
Well, not fighting wise, but
McDermott,
they're scrappy. They're definitely scrappy, like the Tkachuk. But Tkachuk's not going to fight Jeannot or Zadorov, right?
I get it.
But no, they're the division's tough now because they all got to battle Florida. It's all Florida, right? This is all Florida influence. Everyone knows they can't get bullied by Florida, so the Atlantic Division is kind of built themselves up. Look at the Leafs, got rid of Marner to build themselves a little bit tougher to play against. So it's very Florida influenced right now, and we're seeing it. Atlantic, a beating for teams if you want to go down that road.
Yeah, and it's fun when you get it going, and the Bruins just couldn't keep that energy up. I mean, it was for a while though. It was fun because they did a lot of good things. So you had the fight at the 3-second mark. You had the second fight between Jack-Eye and Zadorov at the 8:28 mark. In between that, again, you had Lindholm who took a penalty, a holding call. It was a penalty. 29 seconds in. But you had a bunch of goals. Blais scores in the first period from a tough angle. But I give the kid credit for where the puck comes to him, and he doesn't hesitate. He sees that there's a little bit of room. To me, you look at it, you're like, it's a pretty damn heady shot there by a fourth-line guy in Sammy Blais. I'm sure Sway would like to have covered that spot, but I'll also say that Blais picked that area pretty damn good from kind of behind the net, basically.
Yeah, it was clever, and Sway was reaching a little bit too far and didn't get flat enough along his goal line with the lefty being down there. But it's a pass option too, and you have to go down in that position. You have to give something up. And to your point, Sammy Blais, who's wearing 27, which just doesn't look right to me for the Montreal Canadian guy to be wearing 27, not Alexei Kovalev.
Yeah.
But
that was a Kovalev shot.
It was a Kovalev type move. It was. And yeah, you're like, oh, you can't be a goalie night. It can't be another goalie night. Like, you can't have 3 in a row goalie nights in the Garden. And fortunately, it didn't go that way. But the rest of the period was awesome. Like, the Bruins turned that around, right? Like, they would shoot them 17-8. They have 2 fights. Place is buzzing. They're up 2-1. Couldn't have drawn it up really any better at the end of 1. And that's what's crazy is that, the narrative of this game, like you said in the open, just how much it flipped in a few hours is really crazy.
It is. So you said it's 2-1, a lot of good shots. I got to tell you what, Jacob Fowler, former BC Eagle for 2 years. He got beat by that shot short side from the right side from Alex Steeves on the power play, 8 seconds remaining in the first to make it 2-1. It's a good shot, real good shot. But after that, Razor, the kid was nails. He's, I don't know if this is a short term. They're hoping this is a long term thing. The reason that they drafted him and brought him out after 2 years in Chestnut Hill, kid's got a very low threat. Like he's calm out there. He looked good. So it became 2-2 into the early in the second period. And things were again good. And then, I mean, this is where we really got to talk about. I mean, this is really the big part of the game. 4 seconds left in the second period. You know, the Bruins get an opportunity, end of a power play, right? It was right at the end of a power play. Or no, I think it was actually on the power play. Yeah. And ended up being, if I remember correctly, it was, Pasta and those guys were out there. It ends up being from the right side doorstep, just outside the crease. It's put back in by Elias Lindholm, but David Pastrnak had gone to the blue paint area just as part of the play. And you got to see it. If you haven't seen it, you'll see it everywhere. It ends up being called no goal on the ice by the official, ruled that there was goaltender, interference by David Pastrnak. The first look or two looks, I'll say, I didn't see a lot of goaltender interference. And then you start seeing other looks and you're like, it might be. I texted you, I texted a couple of other people, and the more you watched it, you understand that David's stick was in the middle of the pads of Fowler. Was that the reason, though, that he couldn't get back up? Really doesn't matter, right, Razor? It's just there was contact there. And David was in between two Canadiens. He may have actually bumped Slavkovsky also just enough into their goalie that they decided not to take a chance to review the call. I mean, once I saw it numerous times, I said it was absolutely the right play. Would you agree?
I did. I thought it was, and for everyone who might just watch the Bruins and just dial into the Bruins, if around the league, they've essentially made a very concerted effort to allow the call on the ice to stand. To use the example of when the NFL did pass interference and you could challenge pass interference, and basically it didn't matter. They weren't going to call it or change the call on the ice or on the field. Mm-hmm. That's what they're doing right now with goalie interference. They're putting it back into the referee's hands unless it's so egregious and so obvious that they change it. So if you move off, if you start there, you just start there. You look at the goal, there was a bump by David into Slavkovsky and then Slavkovsky into the goaltender, and the stick was within Fowler's range. It was there. And I don't think it mattered either way on both of those things. But the fact that it's no goal on the ice,
that was the big call.
That's if it was a goal on the ice, I don't think Montreal would have challenged either. I think it's right down the middle, and that was the call. And you just, at that position, I thought the Bruins did a very good job being conservative and checking their emotions and not going to challenge that, because I don't think it would have been overturned.
That goal would have been, I don't know. I mean, I can sit here and say it would have been enormous, but and would it have changed the game?
Might have, sure. Yeah. But all goals change games, and
right. It would have impacted. You know what? It would have provided us a spark.
Yes,
of the
that
game.
Would have been the spark. Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we call it it could be the spark of the game too, because it may have gone the other way.
That's right.
So Sparks Hockey brings us the spark of the game here on Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor. Check out sparkshockey.com. Go check. They still got some holiday bundles going on there for the best at home skate sharpener money can buy. Great deals for the holidays. Some free shipping involved with stuff too. Check out their website, sparkshockey.com. All right, so we'll call that the spark of the game, if only because of what also was to come. But it's a good point. You bring up, if Montreal may not have. I think if it was good goal on the ice, it would have been more lucky that they would have challenged than the other way. I do. I think because I do think the stick. I actually think Fowler. I don't know if it was intentional or not. Just the way his body moved looked like he was impacted by the stick a little bit, and I think probably would have been not 50-50, but 60-40 in favor of Montreal if they had challenged it. But I agree with you. They would have really had to think about it. Really had to think about it. Because to your point, it's either called completely, 100% conclusive or egregious, to use that word used as well. All right. So they don't challenge. We go in at 2-2. into the intermission at 2-2. And then, I mean, this is really also where the game ends up changing early in the third period, the 7:04 mark. Zach Bolduc, a trade that they got him from St. Louis for the Mayu kid, if I remember correctly. Is that right,
Yes.
Razor? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bolduc's got 10 on the season. He's playing at times with the top line, right? With Suzuki and Caulfield. Ends up being a broken stick. It leads to transition. It goes back, and then there's contact by Suzuki with Swayman after Suzuki gets a pass from Lane Hudson from the left side. And there is contact with Swayman, but it's outside the paint. And then the puck is left there for Bolduc to hammer in. His 10th goal of the season gives him a lead. The Bruins decide to challenge here, and real easy game for where I sit, where you sit sometimes with us or whatever. But I don't know, right? I thought immediately there was no point challenging this play. None. It was such a bang, bang play. And again, like Suzuki, it's not like he didn't dance or try to jump out of the way, but he's entitled to that ice after he makes a deke move there.
No, well, so basically, I'm just exactly what I just talked about with the other goal is you just put this in place with this one. But unfortunately, the Bruins, for whatever reason, they didn't use the same discipline and conservative mentality they did on the non-goal in this situation, where it just felt like they chased the last call. That's
emotional.
They got emotional. They took it out, and for whatever reason, they're like, all right, well, I'm going to challenge at some point if this is going to keep happening. But again, for all the reasons I just said, they're not overturning goals on the ice unless it's really, really bad. That was not really, really bad. Swayman was aggressive. He made an unbelievable play on Suzuki. Like that was world class to get his right leg and toe on that. It was unfortunate no one picked like it. The issue wasn't any of those things, and it was for all of the reasons why the Pasternak was kind of close, and you could look at it both ways. This one I didn't see any way that it was both ways. This was just no chance.
I think there was some players watching. I think it may have been Arvidsson. If it wasn't, forgive me. I watch on the back on the second opportunity by Bolduc that ends up putting it in. And everybody's
was there. The problem was the stick, and the real issue was the stick broke, but they were also changing.
Right.
So then they got in between, and like it happens fast after that. Chaos was ensuing.
Chaos, exactly. And I mean,
but anyway, so the point is there, you're 3-2. Okay.
Right. But now you're going
shitty stick.
Right.
Don't challenge.
Don't go shorthand again.
3-on-2 and just hang in the next 3 minutes. Get to a commercial break. Take a deep breath. Couple bad play. You get a goal called against you. You get a stick break. Dig in here. We'll get one at the end. But instead, the penalty, and it's 6-2.
Right. So you get the unsuccessful challenge at 7:04. Then you go at 8:24 of that period. Tanner Jeannot gets called for a cross check, and I thought it was a weak ass call, bud.
Oh,
it was a weak of all the calls, and I'm not going to bitch about the officials because overall, otherwise, I thought they were fine in the sense of. Am I forgetting anything else that was awful? This was a weak call. No feel of the game at this point.
3-2.
3-2. A cross check for a battle with a guy that was just involved with McAvoy, right? He was going with McAvoy right in the corner. Like, come on. Like what? And the official calls a cross check. The guy, like he got the official overreacted there, and
to make it a 5-on-3.
To make it a 5-on-3, exactly. That was the one, and that pissed me off. Listen, the Bruins have taken some bad penalties. This one wasn't. come on. Like this, how many times does that happen in a game? Crossing in the bench area and somebody gets whacked in the back of the legs, or you get crossed in the side, and the official that with all the shit going on, just say,
Yeah, seriously.
just say something. Take Tanner Janot. You've already scrapped this game. Hey, that's it. That was your one freebie. But
brutal.
anyways.
That was awful.
Right. Then the change. And then there's the goal, the Caulfield goal after the Dobson stick breaks, 8:43, and it's 4-2, and 2 other goals were scored after that. All right, let's quickly recognize our sponsors here, and then we'll talk about a few things before we wrap this up because it's holiday time. I could have used some Sunset Lake CBD in this one as the game went on. I could have used, I don't know about sleep stuff, but definitely calming influence. They've got some great CBD stuff, both in a tincture and also in a soft gels or gummies, all different kind of vibe gummy, just a regular sour gummy. They've got it all. And go check out sunsetlakecbd.com. Use the code BRU20 and find yourself getting 20% off site-wide. I love the sleep stuff. It helps me. It helps relax me. I tell you, there are times when the days have just gotten a little stressful, and I'm taking some of the regular CBD stuff, and I find within about 30 minutes, just mellows me out. The holidays are a stressful time. Hopefully not too stressful for everybody, but they're also less daylight, a little colder outside. Use some of the CBD. Just try that, and it's all shipped from their wonderful, beautiful farm in northern Vermont right to your door. Use the code BRU20 and get 20% off everything site-wide. And I cannot recommend not just their products, but their customer service. It's fantastic too. Speaking of customer service, Fazenda Coffee. I was at where was I? RC and I went over to the Swiss Bakery. I don't know. It's right near the Harvard Athletic Complex, Razor, and Fazenda everywhere. It was everywhere. Had a chance to sit down with our guy RC before he took off. RC is like in the coldest place in North America right now, by the way. He's in Thunder Bay. Thunder Bay.
No, that's no joke. Superior never gives up her dead.
So it's RC. I had to have a cup of coffee, a good cup of Fazenda right there when we were there. It was fun to see all the stuff, and I wonder if RC took. RC has some morning brew blend. I wonder if he took it with him up there, maybe to keep himself.
Sunset Lake, you're all set.
There you go. FazendaCoffee.com/morning brew. Check out all their great products, including morning brew hats and the clean canteens. Very few of those clean canteens left. Lastly, Copeland Automotive Group. You can count on Copeland. Go to countoncopeland.com. Check out all of the different cars that they have, new and used, Toyota, Chevrolets, Subarus. They've got 5 different dealerships. Todd Copeland and his people are fantastic. Razor gets all of his cars from them there. We love it. We love having Todd along with us. And it's just a great, look, car buying experience or car leasing. Again, new or used. Check out countoncopeland.com. All right. So have you been with the team before where you go into a break like this and you're like, damn, you want to turn your mind off, but you're not able to? I wonder, I know the guys can compartmentalize. I get it. And I know, especially the ones with kids and stuff, it's like a bad day at work, right? But, this is a little different too. I mean, have you ever been in a situation where this break is, tough almost because of what's going on with the team?
I think this is maybe a little bit with the Olympics coming up. You have more of a break, but this is something that you look forward to
no matter
the
what.
entire month.
Yep.
Like you're gonna wake up. Everyone's gonna wake up in the entire National League, and they're literally gonna finally be able to take a breath.
Yeah,
knowing they don't have to put their skates on again the next day. So I don't. The key, and we'll have this conversation after the Buffalo game or when we talk Saturday morning, is what they come out as. Like you have to get dialed in, but I don't think tonight, tomorrow morning, Christmas Day is really going to be on anybody's mind. It'll start showing up on the 26th. So they really are. Everyone's looks forward to this. I don't remember not looking forward to Christmas and not looking forward to having just even though it's 2 days, it feels like a week for these guys.
I guess what I meant more is, and I know, and these guys, all of them deserve it. Everybody deserves these few days, not just hockey players, athletes, whatever, these few days. Although the NBA plays a bunch of games, right? On this one.
And football now too.
And football, that's right. Football's every day now. I just meant, does it weigh on you? Now, again, they can compartmentalize pretty well, these guys. The 26th, they'll start thinking about it. Some guys will get a workout in. You can't do anything CBA-wise. You can't. You can't get together again. What is it, 8 a.m., I think, on the 27th, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
But some guys will hit a workout. Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess guys are mad. Guys aren't happy. That's an annoying homestand that just happened to them, but it won't. They just need to have a good road trip. It's like,
no, they
can't let it get away from them. They've worked way too hard and done too much. I think they know that.
Yeah, I mean, this was a must-win game. As far as I don't disagree with what David Pastrnak said. I before the game or the day before, feels like a must-win. It does. It did to me. It did, and I felt it. And I felt that they were going to. I did not feel good going into the Ottawa game. Did you feel good going into the Ottawa game? There's something about the matchup. Ottawa can play with pace. Ottawa won every freaking battle, it felt like, against them. Ottawa knows, by the way, they know that they've got the Bruins numbers. Even though the Bruins did win one game this year, it was an extra session game. They know that they've got the Bruins number. They're in their head. I think absolutely.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And they also, the back-to-back and the whole thing on home ice. That didn't. That's why they needed to win the Vancouver game and be 2-1 and then win this game. So the 3-2 would have been pretty good. The way, again, in hindsight, we're looking at what McDavid's doing. Those guys are cooking right now. So, but anyways, this is where they're at, and they got a massive 4-point game coming right out of the break against Buffalo.
I mean, can you believe that the Buffalo Sabres are right there again? Like, after the shitstorm that they've been through, they fired their GM and they had won 3 in a row, and now they're at 7 in a row. It's unbelievable.
The 7 in a row, you're going to be in the mix all the time. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
All right, what do you got planned? Holiday break. We know we got RC that is in Thunder Bay, and then he's just braving that. He texted me when I talked. I'm like, "How was travel?" Great. It's cold though. It's really cold. You guys just hanging out, Raycroft?
Yeah, we got nothing.
Merry Christmas at home.
Can't wait till tomorrow and just nothing. I'm gonna try not to drive too far or go too far and hang out. Friends on Christmas Eve and my wife's family on Christmas Day, and that's it.
Okay. Well,
Jaffe crew.
We're heading to my wife's family's house, way east Long Island, near the end, and head out there 2.5 days. Vic and the kids will stay longer, maybe a day or two longer. I'm back early so we can reconvene on Saturday morning. I am, again, as always, so messed up this time of year on days. I kept saying I have no idea what day of the week
Today's a Saturday for sure.
It feels like it, right?
Yeah.
But it's not. It's a Wednesday, correct? I had to look that up. No, Tuesday. What day is it?
Even worse.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Tuesday.
Thank you. It's a Tuesday. Okay. So I'll be back for I don't know, Thursday or Friday for our Saturday show. We will do that. And then the Bruins start their road trip. They go to Buffalo. And then after that, they go to Calgary and Edmonton, and then Vancouver and Seattle. Do I have that out?
Yep.
Right.
And lots of time in both of those places.
Lots of time. Yeah, this is a long trip. So hopefully they utilize these few days coming up and really enjoy their family and get some rest, because it's going to be a long road trip. I was going to do, next show I do, maybe Saturday, we'll just do like a half. We're not officially at the halfway mark because we're just about 2 games shy. Think of it, 3 games shy, but maybe we'll do a half season review type thing on Saturday at EEO. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. Ryan, thanks for taking the computer on the road, doing this for us, buddy, and getting it out. I hope you, Razor, and all the Raycrofts and all of Aaron's family have a wonderful Merry Christmas, happy and healthy to everybody. And I hope all of our listeners do too. I hope that despite this, no doubt, disappointing, I was bummed and definitely a tad discouraged at the end, but I'm feeling okay, better right now. I hope all the Bruins fans out there can have themselves a wonderful holiday for a few days and enjoy their time and their family and their friends and whatever you want to do, whatever you want to, that you can do it. So everybody enjoy the holiday, try and enjoy a coffee if you can. And thank you as always for supporting Morning Brew with Jaffe and Ray.